Hi there, Internet Associate. It's Anthony, and I'm about to watch another episode of Lucifer. So this is Season 3, Episode 9, The Sinnerman. And I'm pretty excited based off that title, because that must indicate that we're about to get back into the whole Sinnerman plot that they started off at the beginning of the season, and I've kind of veered away from a bit now. And I haven't minded it, but I am excited now to get back to it and see what's going to happen next. So let's go ahead and get into it. Lucifer, Season 3, Episode 9, The Sinnerman.
It's the big guy in tonight?
$1?
This is a 1.
He said this is a 1.
Nice guy discount?
I feel like this guy about to do something surprising.
Make it quick, kid.
He really let him in?
You're a prince.
There's a nice guy discount? That's a real thing? Really? Wow.
Call me Lucifer.
Joey Pelegi.
So, Joey Pelegi.
Joey Pelegi.
What is it you desire?
Okay, so how do you angels work?
When I first went to angel school, they sorted us into different houses for different powers.
There's a school
Is he
for
trolling?
angels?
No.
I figured. I'm like, this isn't Hogwarts. Like, what do you think this is?
What's in the
Hey!
sky?
We said the same joke.
Powers shape their personalities, or are your personalities shaped by your powers?
Haven't a clue.
Dang, Lucifer doesn't even know. I'm up here thinking we're about to get some new information about the lore of the show and the world, and Lucifer's just like, having a clue.
Question of free will. I help people do whatever or whomever they want.
But that's it? There isn't more to it?
Does there need to be? But there probably is. Maybe Lucifer is about to learn something new about himself this episode.
I should have knocked.
Look who's back.
Late night, been trying to catch up on all the work since I got out of the hospital.
It really does feel like they've kind of just picked off like right back where they were, like, I don't know, like how many episodes ago it was. That episode where Lucifer started doing people favors. And was that the same one where Chloe got her life saved by Pierce? Like, it really feels like they just did all that, and then like they just had like a 4 or 5 episode run where they were just doing different stuff, and now they're back to this. So I wonder if they're gonna continue on this story plot line again, like they were in the beginning of the season, or if it's just gonna be this episode and then they're gonna veer away again. Just random thoughts that I'm having right now.
What happened here? Who would have done this?
You see, I did this young man a favor.
So that's the guy that he just did a favor for, and now he's dead.
Lucifer, can I talk
Look
to
at
you?
his legs.
Joey Pelegi, he came to me a few months ago and asked me for a favor. And
A few months ago.
You're still doing that?
I never stopped granting favors, detective, until
What kind of favor? And don't tell me it got Joey killed.
Well, it looks like it
desire
did.
was to become the new godfather of Scarface for millennials.
You introduced him to the mob?
I mean, he does have a name like Joey Pelegi. I was thinking that when he said that. I was like, is this guy in the mob or something? So it makes sense.
Well, it may be a commentary on the job that I got for him. As a runner for the mob.
Uh-oh, yeah.
School.
Lucifer always got something to do with things.
That Lucifer can draw out people's desires.
Okay, I can see how that would seem strange.
No, it's bananas, Amenadiel. I mean, how does
These two are
anyone
really
else-
enjoying each other's company.
Like, it just seems lonely to visit humanity without ever really getting to know anyone.
He's getting to know someone now.
I guess so.
Now I'm banned in Ohio.
He's his back.
So what's going on? You guys catch up, huh?
Yes, yeah, we are. We've been hanging out.
Yeah, we're friends.
All that
It's
jealousy.
not just any shoe. Joey's high
It's
top were
okay.
limited
Y'all can
edition.
get together and make an Oreo. It can all work. Everybody can be happy.
Joey had expensive shoes, plus a
Okay,
real
Ella.
Rolex, and 10 grand stashed under his bed.
But Joey worked for the mob. I mean, wouldn't that explain all the swag?
Runners for the mob don't make that.
Swag.
There's no way he could afford that.
Unless he
And
was
maybe
stealing
Joey
from the
was
mob.
skimming off the top.
Yeah.
Can't a woman be friends with a
Angel.
brilliant, tall, gorgeous angel?
Oh my gosh. They just went for it.
I know him. I defended him once.
Unknown caller.
Fine, Charlotte.
What was up with the unknown caller?
You won't you.
What's the world coming to?
Yeah, tell me about it.
I feel like I'm watching The Sopranos or something. Speaking of, I did start watching The Sopranos now, so I've seen Uriel on that show as well. I was like, oh yeah, it sure did say Uriel was on The Sopranos.
I want to find out who killed little Joey. And I want payback.
Oh really?
Oh.
Lucifer, we got another body. Let's go.
I wonder if it has anything to do with that unknown caller.
I did her a favor too, years ago. This isn't just a murder, it's another message.
It's gotta be the Sinnerman.
For me.
36. The noose was made out of her own hair. How
What?
twisted is that?
Was that what Lucifer's
hanging
favor
wasn't what
was?
killed her. A whole beauty empire. I use her finishing cream every day.
Right. Well, then I guess she got what she
Alright.
wanted. Until now.
Ella, I swear she forgets that she's at a crime scene sometimes and standing over a dead body.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need proof that this guy is real.
Oh, he is real. And very dangerous.
He admits it. Because he told Lucifer, but he hadn't told Chloe before that he knew about the Sinnerman, I don't believe.
Taunting a nightclub owner seems petty, small.
Well, perhaps you don't know the full story.
Okay, we're gonna treat
Stop
this
ignoring
murder
that unknown
as we would
caller.
any other crime.
This unknown caller is about to be something big. They're just going to keep on teasing it.
Look, whatever it is you're selling, I'm not interested. So
Really?
Uh-oh.
And I thought you were looking for me.
Is that the
You
Sinnerman
got
on
the
the phone?
Sinnerman's DNA profile.
But, you know, I just put on my Beastie Boys and powered through.
Pay attention, Chloe.
Decker, did you hear what I said?
I'm sensing some tension here.
Oh, there's a lot of tension.
I'm not.
Are we gonna actually meet the Sinnerman this episode? I'm really excited if we are. I feel like we're not going to though.
where are you?
Feels too soon. But maybe we will.
Well,
Who's that?
Hey,
That was the Sinnerman? Oh,
pleasure
snap.
to finally meet you.
Likewise.
I tell you what, why don't you take your sunglasses off? Then we can have a proper conversation.
You'd have to look into the camera, not the
What
screen,
do
Lucifer.
desire stick?
I find out what someone truly desires. I find out their greatest weakness. And that's not a parlor trick, Sinnerman. It's power.
Now he's looking
And I
right
promise
at
you,
him.
I'm going to use it to destroy you.
He pulled the shades down.
Here, pal. Too slow.
Why?
Too
Why are
slow.
you doing this?
You'll see.
This man really just used some shades to completely thwart Lucifer's power.
Okay, I really
That
need
was
you to
a
work that.
really tense stare down between Lucifer and the Sinnerman. It looks like they're about to be worthy opponents of each other.
You'll see.
No!
Wish I could help.
Cut the crap, Frankie. Give us something.
Charlotte.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrante, for your time.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good night, ladies.
Charlotte's not used to being on this side of things, having to play by the book.
You were perfect. Frankie
Oh.
had to make sure that we weren't coming after him. And coming from you, he believed it. Mobsters like that, they don't talk to the cops.
Then what was the point of that? How does this get
Oh.
us any closer to the Sinnerman?
Well, that was smart of Chloe then to play off of Charlotte like that when Charlotte was doing exactly what she wanted her to.
Mind if I join you?
Okay. This dude was watching. He was laying in wait for the date.
To bore me to death!
He does look like he's on like a music video set or something. Like the Sinnerman, he's sinister while also borderline corny. Lucifer was right, the whole slaughterhouse vibe thing, and then he got the TV screen. Like I don't know, it's almost corny, but it's still scary and sinister.
I didn't realize you still kept tabs on me.
What are you talking about? I tracked you down because I have a bone to pick with you.
Now's not the
I
time.
asked you to talk.
Come on,
I
Maze.
thought we were past all of this.
Who hides in the freezer? This wasn't on
I'll just
purpose.
hang around in here like a frozen side of beef just to avoid you. Hello? I was a prisoner!
Hang on, you were trapped?
What?
Yes.
Obviously.
Is she gonna close the door again? What? Maze. Why? Maze is acting up this episode. Come on, Maze. I understand we're hurt, but let him out.
You don't get out until you listen to what I have to say and act like you care.
Okay, that's totally fine. If you're just gonna stand there and tell him what you want to say, I guess that's fine. As long as she's not just gonna leave him there.
Linda and Amenadiel are doing what now?
Well, I saw them in her office. Talking.
Right, you do realize that talking in her office is literally Linda's job?
There was a lot of context involved, though, Lucifer, that you didn't see.
Isn't it? And you know, so our old flame's having a fling. I don't care. Why should you?
I love the contrast between these two scenes.
Unless...
He's like, unless you like the doctor.
Unless you're still hot for Angel.
No.
No.
No?
No.
Or does she like Linda?
Mace. Maziki.
Did she leave
Still
him?
there?
Please tell me she didn't leave. Thank you. It is okay. I got scared that it wouldn't be her for a second.
I need to display leadership to the suits downtown, that's all.
Sure it is.
Showing up out of nowhere while I'm on a stakeout. You said it yourself. You and the Sinnerman crossed paths in Chicago.
The Sinnerman killed my brother.
Okay. That's a big development.
He doesn't look like a mobster. Maybe one of their sources. Let's hang tight.
Copy that.
Is that the Sinnerman?
Lucifer.
Detective.
Finally. Look, I'm on a stakeout.
Thought I
You
saw
were
an
right.
afro like the
is
Sinnerman
behind
had.
us.
Black fellow, early 40s, though he dresses like an old man. Would you believe it?
He dresses like an old man.
Greatest crime yet.
That's not a source. That's
That
him.
is him.
Let's go.
She said that's not a
detective?
source. That is him right there. I thought that was him. But what if this guy isn't really the Sinnerman? I slick feel like this guy isn't really the Sinnerman, and he's just somebody that the Sinnerman has in place for him right now. I don't know. Like, I feel like the Sinnerman ain't gonna show that. Oh, wait, what?
Drop the weapon.
Maybe he is the Sinnerman.
I'm on it. Now we can take you in safely.
But this is so much fun.
Whoa. He is not playing around. How did she... She's not even behind cover. How did she survive that? That looked like he was point blank range. But I guess it was just the way it was filmed. Oh, he's shooting from that way? Okay, no. They are not playing around. We got him. Sinnerman ain't getting caught that easy, so what's the catch? Yeah, this guy's getting out.
What's up?
What's
You
up?
alone?
Yeah. Why?
Because you're
Not a good liar.
kind of strange.
Amenadiel, you can come from behind the painting or wherever you're hiding.
But it was weird seeing you and Amenadiel so chummy.
I
Wow.
understand. You have nothing to worry about.
I feel like that's like the most direct I've ever heard a TV show character say anything. Usually they never say exactly what they're thinking when they're in a situation like this.
You know what I mean? I touched nerves that he never knew he had.
He's somewhere in here.
I can
isn't
only
he?
imagine.
You're the best one.
What was that? I swear it looked like a shadow just went across the room.
Thank you, Dan.
Don't mention it. Oh, hey, Hernandez.
I was wondering who was in the wrong place.
Promise to look into your eyes and find out what the great
Why is he
Sinnerman
looking like that?
desires, and then take it from him.
What's going on? What if he's dead?
Look at
Or
me.
planning something? What is going on?
Look.
Is his face gone? Like,
Eyes!
look, turn. He cut his eyes out so Lucifer can't. What? Wow. He cut his eyes out. Man, cut his eyes out. He really doesn't want Lucifer to know what he wants. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if this episode is an indication that they're about to get back to a more consistent serial storyline schedule for the coming episodes, or if they're going to continue to do episodic things like they've been doing recently in this season. As long as the quality remains the way that it has been, I'd honestly be fine with either way. But I'm definitely would be excited to see more about this Sinnerman story. This episode felt a little risky in a way, I'd say, just because they actually showed us the Sinnerman, or at least have seemingly introduced us to the Sinnerman. We don't know how much more there is to this guy just yet and how he's been pulling off the stuff that he's been doing. But this is definitely a big jump forward from what we knew before. And, you know, sometimes doing that can be a bit risky because it takes some of the mystery away. Before, we've just known of the Sinnerman as like this idea, this entity, but not really known specifically who he is or what he could be. So now we've actually met him, which is cool, but it's like, then, okay, now that has to live up to everything that the mystery has been so far. So when they caught him, I'm like, okay, there has to be more to this. Like, if this would have just ended with them actually catching him and that was like the bow on the Sinnerman story, I'd be like, well, that was ridiculously anticlimactic. So I figured something was about to happen. I just didn't know what. And when they got in there and that guy cut his eyes out so that Lucifer couldn't do his desire trick on him, that was definitely a pretty big shock, pretty big moment. It shows, for one thing, how the lengths that this guy will go to not tell Lucifer his desires. And it makes you wonder, you know, what is he hiding? What are his desires? What is his backstory? Why is he doing what he's doing? Is some of this like a bit of an insecurity of not wanting to talk about it? It's hard not to think about it that way. It's like, oh, is he repressing emotions or something? So he's cutting his eyes out so that he doesn't have to talk about them to Lucifer. But also just from the sinister side of things, you're like, okay, this guy must have some dastardly stuff going on in his mind that he's trying to hide. So that was exciting. And I can't wait to see where they're about to take that from here. And I'm looking forward to seeing this Sinnerman character more as the season continues. We also got Pierce again this episode. He's been gone for a bit. Pretty much like all of these sort of experimental episodic, you know, standalone episodes that they've been doing this season haven't had Pierce in them. Like, it almost feels like those episodes are just like, you know, like it feels like this season started out, then it just did all those other episodes, and then it just got back to season 3, if that makes sense. Because Pierce was there in the beginning, then he's been gone for a while, now he's back. And I know part of that is explained with him getting shot and everything, of course. So that was how they made that make sense. But it's good to see him back, and his character's been growing on me more and more. It definitely seems like there's some chemistry growing there between him and Chloe, as Ella has been saying. So, and I want to know more about his brother and everything. I mean, like, I don't know if there is anything more to know about that, just, you know, because he clearly hates the Sinnerman for what he did for killing his brother and everything. And I'm interested to see him go through that process more and see what we're going to see next from Pierce's character. The Amenadiel and Linda thing with Maze was also very interesting. Like, I wasn't sure whether they were going with like Maze likes Linda, or maybe she likes Amenadiel, or maybe she likes both of them, or she just likes them as friends, as she said. I was like, is it a more than friends thing, or is it really just a friends thing? But from what she said in this episode, it really seemed to be just a genuine friend thing, and I think that's cool. So what I was really kind of refreshing to see actually was Maze just straight up saying, I don't want you to be together. I mean, like, whether or not you agree or disagree that they should, you know, now not get together because Maze said that, regardless, just her actually just saying that and making her feelings about that clear was definitely a bit of a breath of fresh air for TV. Because, you know, a lot of times characters can be very, you know, internal with everything that they're thinking and feeling, which is how people are in real life too. It's an accurate representation of real life. So you're just sitting there watching, like, just say what you feel and maybe something can come from that. But it's like she just straight out said it. And the only thing there was a very clear awkwardness in the room about Linda. Linda was clearly hiding something. You got the sense that Amenadiel was there. I could, for some reason, feel his presence in that scene, even though we couldn't see him. And I swear there was like a shadow crossover. I don't know if that was intentional or if like some production assistant passed in front of a light or something, or what happened there, but I feel like that was intentional. So I'm looking forward to seeing maybe what kind of was going on in that scene that we didn't see just yet. That might be explained later. So really looking forward to seeing where they're going to take that storyline, because even though Maze was, forthright and said what she was thinking, it clearly looks like it's not about to be that simple. And there's still going to be a conflict there for Linda and Amenadiel trying to maybe honor Maze. So that'll be exciting. Ella was her fun self as always this episode, but a few episodes ago when they were in Vegas, she mentioned hearing voices or something like that. Like, I forget what exactly she said. She was like, I don't even remember what she said. I just know that I've been waiting to hear more about that. And I'm like, I hope that they're going to get back to that soon, because it was just like a one-off line that she just said, but I feel like it was indicating something. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more about that and seeing if maybe that, I don't know, if that explains why Ella is so, I don't think that would explain why she's so perceptive and notices all these different things and figures so many things out. But it would be cool if it kind of did, just because I've always felt like, as I've said before, she's such a perceptive person and she notices everything about human interaction, and she notices things in the crime scenes other people don't notice. And I've just always thought that was pretty cool. Otherwise, fun episode. I think that about covers everything. There was Charlotte. Oh yeah, Charlotte. I really enjoyed Charlotte's storyline this episode, actually, just because I felt like it was touching on that idea of, when you're trying to change, but the world is kind of, not the world, but people around you in the world is kind of not making it hard. I don't even want to say, but I don't know how to put it. It's not that they're not allowing you to change, but everybody kind of sticks with that first impression, and people kind of like try to keep you where they met you in a way. And sometimes that's understandable, because like Chloe said, given all her past actions, she has to earn trust now. So that's fair. But I know it can also be frustrating if you're like, I'm trying to make this change, but people don't, people will still see me a certain way, and people might not give me the opportunity to make the right changes and the right decisions in some situations. And also, she might even feel like she's holding herself back because she keeps on slipping into old habits. And so it's like, it's just really hard to change and to figure out if you're doing the right thing when, the right thing can be so elusive and so subjective. And it feels like that's what she's going through. And that's kind of what she's been going through a lot this season. Because from some people's perspective, being on the other side and defending the guilty people is the right thing, because they're not always guilty. A lot of times, like people, those public defenders, or like, people that are like defense attorneys or things like that are defending, people that get in these situations. Sometimes they really are helping innocent people's lives, or they're helping people not become a victim to, a justice system that isn't always the most, just, and can sometimes be corrupt in a few ways. So some people, but obviously that's also going to lend to getting people that actually are guilty and getting them off, and, allowing people that have done terrible things roam free. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But so that's why it's one of those things where it's murky waters. She feels like what she was doing before was bad, but at the same time, now on this side, she doesn't know how to how to act at all times and how to do things completely by the book, maybe. And, so it's just a whole struggle for Charlotte. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate she's trying to change for at least what she thinks is the best thing to do. That's the most you can do in life. Just follow your gut and your intuition and do what you think is best. And, it's going to be a challenge. So I've been enjoying this storyline from Charlotte. So yeah, those are my thoughts for the episode. I enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and head to Patreon for the full uncut reaction weeks ahead of the YouTube schedule if you're interested in seeing that. Okay, and goodbye.